The following program is brought to you in part by Time Warner Cable and the Madison County School System.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. I'm here with Madison Central's head football coach, Bert Browne.
And I want you to watch Madison Central football on Madison County School Sports Television.
This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goebel in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises. This program is sponsored by First Gear in downtown Richmond and Pro Signs in Southern Hills Plaza.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford, and welcome to the Coach Bert Browne Show.
This program is brought to you by L81, a proud sponsor of Madison County School Sports Television. This program is sponsored by First Gear in downtown Richmond and Pro Signs in Southern Hills Plaza.
Welcome back to the head coach Bert Browne Show of the Madison Central Indians. We're going to talk about the big community game that we had this past Friday night against the Madison Southern Eagles. That was a tough and hard-fought game.
It was. I was proud of our kids. They played hard and never gave up. And,
You're right.
I've
Never seen a team come out, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I've never seen a team come out so excited and so mentally ready.
Yeah. I thought that they were well focused and, ready to play football.
Right. You must have coached them. I don't know what you said before they came out, but they looked excited.
Yeah, they were ready. I mean, the kids were ready to play and had a good week of practice and were ready to play. I mean, they really were.
Well, tell us your thoughts on the first half.
Well, I thought that we could have done a couple things better. I know we gave up a couple touchdowns there where we, or at least one I know of, where Coach Brumley called a stunt right into that play, and we had a guy not work his stunt gap, and they ran the football right through there and scored a touchdown. So
that was early on.
Those are little things that you've got to get better doing, and I felt like we got a lot better from week 2 to week 3. Our kids played a lot better than they did against Woodford County.
All right. Well, and that is the goal every week.
Every week,
you want to see them progressing
right.
and getting a little better by the end of the season.
Yeah.
Is there any particular players or anybody that you want to talk about?
Well,
Will
Hinton had a great game. Had 3 interceptions and just played well and ran down on special teams. He's a guy that's going to give you effort every snap, and that's the kind of guy you want.
Right. Now, you've got quite a bit injured and out right now.
Oh, yeah. We've had, I think we're starting our 4th center. So we've had quite a few out for the last, after the first game, we had a lot of guys out, and then so we've had probably 5 starters out the last 2 ball games.
Right. So. Well, this, as a fan perspective, this game went back and forth. So, as a fan, it was really fun to watch. And when I interviewed you, I hate to go on into halftime, but, you know, most media thought you'd be really excited about how you guys were playing in the first half. You went into halftime with a big lead. Well, general lead, I should say. I don't want to say too big of a lead because you can never have a big enough lead, for your comfort level. But you weren't.
I mean, we didn't execute like I thought we should have. And like I say, Coach Browne had a great defensive game plan and called a stunt right into a play that scored a touchdown. That should never happen. Anytime you call a stunt into a play, then that needs to be for no gain, and it was a big, long touchdown run.
Right. Is that something that you guys, I'm sure, have worked on this week?
Oh, yeah, we have. And when you're so young, you're going to make mistakes like that. You're going to do things like that, and so we try to correct that. We'll be starting a freshman Mike on Friday night, this coming Friday night, and another freshman in the secondary, and 2 sophomore corners, and a couple sophomore defensive linemen. You're going to have guys make mistakes. That's just going to happen.
Do you think it was the mistakes were because they're so young? I mean,
there's no question. No question. Those are mistakes that we didn't make very many of last year like that.
Right.
We anytime you're senior dominated like we were last year, you don't make as many of those mistakes, and it's a learning experience. You know, they're used to playing freshman football. Some of those guys, a lot of those guys, and you know, our corners did a great job, and they're young, and you know, we lost, I think, 19 starters from the year before. Wow, and that's a lot, and a lot of people don't realize that. Right, when you lose that many guys, you're going to make those mistakes, and so we just got to keep coaching them up and get better. And like I said, I felt like our football team got leaps and bounds better from the previous week, and that's what we're hoping to accomplish this week.
Well, we'll keep talking about the first half, but let's go take a break, and we'll be right back. So we'll be right back with the Coach Bert Browne Show.
This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. You're watching Madison County School Sports Television, home of the greatest announcers around. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Coach Bert Browne Show. I'm Samantha Burford, and once again, we're here at Jack Burford Chevrolet. He's our official sponsor for our Coach's Show, so we want to thank Jack Burford Chevrolet for allowing us to move around week to week, and hopefully by the time football season's finished, we want you to go long in football season. Yeah. But by the time it's finished, they'll have an entire remodeled customer service lounge and all that. So we do have some construction noises in the background. Maybe we should have worn our construction hats today. I know the students had them last year, so we could probably have borrowed some of theirs. Let's keep talking a little bit about the first quarter, and we'll move into halftime. I mean, you mentioned earlier about the first play of the game, and that was rough. Some of the mental mistakes and the mouthing.
We stop them 3 and out the first series, and then somebody gets up and decides to run their mouth. Actually, not get up, didn't have a thing to do with the play.
Right.
We have
that's hard.
3 or 4 guys make a great play, and then we got somebody that didn't give them an automatic first down 15-yard penalty.
Right.
So the momentum that we had right at that second was
lost.
It
was gone.
They drove the ball down a little bit there. So just something that we can't do. You cannot do those things. Yeah.
What'd you say to him at halftime?
Well, we just talked about some things that they were doing against us that we thought that we could do a little bit better and execute. We weren't. There was a couple things we just weren't executing well, and so we get on the board both defensively and offensively and talk about those things, and come out and
because you had the lead at halftime.
Felt like we were going to drive down and score, and we're moving the ball pretty well, and get a fumble, and they get it, and they go down and score. So, you just cannot make mental mistakes, and you can't turn the football over.
Right. Do you know how many turnovers you had?
Well, I think maybe 2. I can't remember.
You're ready to move on from this.
Yeah, I mean, as the week goes by, I forget all about the last one because I'm just concentrating on watching
You're concentrating
so much film
on this Friday.
The other team. So, if we did this thing Saturday morning, I could tell you everything about it. But I start watching film the next day on the other team, and I kind of finish watching our stuff. We have some corrections. We meet the kids, come in every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. We watch the game film, and then after that, I'm to the next game. Yeah.
Well, something more positive about the game, your crowd, I had never seen them this rowdy before. I mean, the student section was up and rowdy. They had painted everything. But it was a packed house. How many people do you think was there?
I don't know. That's what I was saying after the game or the couple days later. I don't really notice that stuff. Yeah. Really, because
you're focused
into the game, but when I did notice it, sometimes maybe a timeout when we were talking to the kids, or between quarters, you're talking to the kids or walking, and you notice the crowd. It's a good thing that we've got that new stadium, and they built it to have that many people
withstand that many people.
Or we would have been in trouble in that old stadium. We wouldn't have been able to get that many in there.
Hold that many people. It is a beautiful stadium. And, next year, I think you're going to play Southern at Southern, correct?
Yes.
It's not quite as big, so I don't know what we'll do.
I'd expect a big crowd down there, too.
Yeah. Well, and hopefully Damian Harris is the talk of the town. He'll, as a junior this year, he'll be there next year again. So maybe we'll keep this going back and forth even after he's gone.
Yeah, well, it should. Anytime you got 2 schools that are the size of our schools and we're this close together, it's a great gate. I've tried to schedule other schools in our area that are maybe not as big but close to us that would be the same kind of crowd, but been unsuccessful. Some people don't want to play us, and so hopefully when the 2-year contracts are up after next year, we can get a couple of those schools in our area that I know would bring big crowds, and we would bring big crowds to them. And, it's a great atmosphere for the kids. I think as a coach, you need to look and say, this is something that the kids will remember for the rest of their life, because just like I told our kids before the game, you're going to play in front of a giant crowd. Soak it all in when you go out to warm up and start of the game. Soak all that in, because once the game starts, you really don't see a lot of that. You're so focused on playing. So it was a great atmosphere.
Right. Do you think they were nervous at all because of so many people?
Oh, I don't think so.
No.
I talked with them all week about things like that and how to handle that kind of stuff. So no, I think our guys were focused and ready to play football.
You moving into the second half, you changed some of the offense a little bit second half, right?
Well, we did some more of our elephant and rhino stuff, overload stuff, and we're bringing our big boys on one side, and doing some of that kind of thing. But for the most part, going in, we knew what we wanted to do, and we did it in the second half. What we wanted to do, we just, Ben Durham kicks 2 field goals, does a great job for us. But you hate to kick a field goal in those situations. We go down there and stall inside the 10 or on the inside the 15.
Right.
And you need to come away with touchdowns there. There was a couple drives there where we've watched on film that 1 or 2 things happen there, and we execute. We're in the end zone.
Yeah. Well, the game just kept going back and forth. I mean, it like I said earlier, as a fan perspective, it was a great game to watch because, if you were a Southern fan or a Central fan, it just kept going back and forth, and you really never knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, it was. I'm sure that it was for the fans.
For the fans.
Yeah, and I mean, as a coach, you're focused on what your next move is going to be.
Exactly.
We didn't have to do a lot of. They did what we thought they would do to us offensively as an offensive
right.
point of view. So we didn't have to do a lot of board drawing and all that stuff that we sometimes have to do because we pretty much thought they were going to do something and they did it.
Right.
And that's a credit to them. You do what you do on defense and you do it every week.
Right.
And
I think you guys watched their Rock Castle film. Is that correct?
Yeah, well,
knew.
We watched their previous 2 games and had them broken down, and so. But it just comes down to, you got to execute when opportunities are there. You got to make the plays, and they just made more plays than we did.
Right. Now, you had both your quarterbacks, Harden and Presnell, they both in the fourth quarter came out,
Mm-hmm.
especially Presnell. He was really no, that was Harden. He was really injured.
Yeah, he was hurt and couldn't go back in. And then,
what happened to him? Was it an ankle?
He bruised his kneecap.
Kneecap, okay.
And of course Cameron's playing both ways. He's such a tough kid that he had a calf cramp. And so he caught a cramp there and he had to come out, and I tried to pull one on the referees and ask him if I called a timeout, could he stay in? And I thought that guy would say yeah, but I knew, if they knew the rule, he had to sit out and play.
And so that next play was pretty cool, though. I mean,
Johan Williams played a shotgun Wildcat-like quarterback, and Johan's I looked around, I said, let's find the smartest kid I can find here. It's Johan. Johan, go in there and you're going to do
Make
this.
it happen. And he did.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah.
And
because we're all sitting up there going, what's going on? What are they doing?
So Johan did a great job in that situation, and I really think if Cameron wouldn't have been able to go, Johan would have been able to do some things for us.
Right. Well, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about your next game this Friday night against Scott County.
All right.
Okay? We'll be right back with the Coach Bert Browne Show.
This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU Bypass in Richmond. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, Madison County EMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. If you'd like to be one of our advertising sponsors, check out our website or go to our Facebook page.
Watch our programming online at WKYT.com, your town, Richmond, or watch it at Bria Online at BriaOnline.com. This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU bypass in Richmond.
Welcome back to the Coach Bert Browne Show. I'm Samantha Burford here at Jack Burford Chevrolet as our official sponsor. And if you're just tuning in, we're going to have some loud construction noises in the background. So if you hear some beeps, it's not our phones or anything like that. It's actual construction out here at almost 8 o'clock at night. So anyway, thank you for being with us. I know this has been a tough week, I'm sure, because that was a hard loss. I mean, it was a close game, and I know mentally your players were ready. And
it is a hard loss. Anytime that you lose and you feel like your team's prepared, and just a few mistakes here and there, and you lose a tight ball game like that, you always do the what if we did this, what if we make this play here, what if we block that guy, what if we get to this assignment, and so it is tough.
Right. Well, especially coming off such a big win the week before against Woodford County. I mean, that came down to 20 seconds left of the game?
Maybe 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to listen to it on the radio and Twitter feeds. And so,
that was a close one.
But we were all excited, so that's what counts. It's a big W. So I know your players had to be really excited about that, and then come off this loss. So tell me what you're doing this week to get them ready for Scott County.
We just have the number 2 team in the state of Kentucky.
Only the number 2 team.
Yeah, and they're awful good. I mean, Jim does a great job over there. He's been over there. I think a lot of how good they are is the consistency with him being there so long.
Right.
And he's a hard worker. And I really respect Jim because he comes to work every morning early and leaves late at night. And I like guys that do that because they're giving their kids a chance to win. And he does a great job, and he's a good football coach.
Right.
So
they've had a successful program.
Oh
a long time.
Yeah, they have, and it's Jim McKee. I mean, he is the reason because of his hard work and he does a great job, and we're going to have a heck of a game to beat them.
And so you need a lot of fan support there too.
It would be nice if we have a lot of fans at Toyota Stadium there in Georgetown.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, let's talk about. I know you got some big games coming up in October as well. Important for breast cancer awareness game.
Next week we'll be playing Lexington Catholic at home, and that's going to be Coach Ed Miracle night, and I think we're going to honor Coach Miracle. Passed away this winter or spring, and Coach Miracle was the athletic director when I played at Central, and great guy and great football coach. I think he played for the state championship when he was at Lynch 10 times. So so we're going to have that, and then the breast cancer awareness night. Our kids will be wearing pink jerseys against Henry Clay. I think that's October the 4th, maybe.
Yeah, it is.
And most of them have somebody on the back of their jersey that they're playing for that's either passed away or fought cancer off or has cancer now. So it's a special night for a lot of our kids.
Right. And I know that you guys, I was at attending the game that you had it last year, and the cheerleaders wear pink, the football team wears pink, the coaches wear pink. Even most of the people in the fans, they're all wearing pink.
It's good to have everybody there and supporting a great cause.
It is a great cause. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we appreciate you guys doing that for those women out there. It seems like everybody's been touched by some form of
there's
cancer.
No question that you ask the kids. I ask them that during that week. We talk a lot about that stuff. It's good to talk with our kids about that, and we talk about that, and we talk about some of our guys. I'll ask them to talk about who they're going to be wearing their jersey for, and what they mean to them, and things like that, and there's a lot of guys that tear up. A lot of the team and coaches and it's
personal.
It is, and it's a good thing to teach your kids. Shows them, there's some tough times out there, and I talk to the kids about that all the time. I say, life isn't donuts and roses. You're going to have some ups and downs in your life, and so this is one of those things that can make a young soon to be man think about. how life is in the ups and downs that you're going to have. And that's what I think's great about football. It teaches you to get up off that ground when you don't feel like it, you're hurt, and you got to fight. So
you got to play whether you're mentally like having a bad day. You still got to get up and go.
That's right. That's right.
And even that will stay with them for the rest of their lives too.
Yeah.
That you and your coaching staff represent that.
Yeah.
Hardworking.
Yeah, and that's something that a few years ago when I was at Perry Central, I was on the internet looking for a pink football. We were going to have a that night, and I just thought, it'd be good to have something like that. And I had read an article in one of the football magazines that I get, and it was talking about a guy, I think in New Jersey, did it, and he got pink jersey. I thought, man, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so we did it, and it just and people loved it. And it's just kind of caught on, and so when I came here, we continued to do that, and I've had a lot of good response from people, and I know we're looking for a sponsor for the game because the boys have to pay for those jerseys because we don't have the money to do it, and so we're looking for somebody or a corporation maybe step forward and maybe buy those jerseys for those guys.
I think that's great. And if anybody sponsors want to do that, they just need to call the school and get in touch with you or the athletic director, Mr. Wilson.
They can get in touch with me or Christina King, who is in our booster club, and you can go to MadisonCentralFootball.com and find out how to get in contact with her.
And I think you guys even have a Facebook page.
Yeah, I think we do.
You do?
Yeah.
So, before we wrap up, let's talk real quick about the parking. Speaking of money, people can tailgate. I don't think a lot of people know that you can tailgate back there behind the school. Mm-hmm. There was such a long line getting to this past Friday night's game. Mm-hmm. We actually turned around, came back around the other way because it was all the way backed up from the school to the courthouse.
Oh, yeah.
It was a long line.
Yeah.
So if people know that they could, I think everybody was just scattering for a space, but there were still parking spots available back there in the tailgating lot.
Behind the softball field, our old practice field, our booster club sells tailgating areas for $50 for the season, and we still have, I guess, a few home games left. I think maybe 4. So it's basically a donation to Madison Central, but you get a great parking area. You can tailgate. I know several people do and have a great time. I've heard that they have a great time back there. So they've
got grills and campers and all different kinds of things going on, or just the back of their truck, whatever they want to bring. So, well, listen, Coach, we appreciate you being here with us. I know you've had a busy week this week and getting ready for the game against Scott County this Friday night, and we really wish you the best.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you at the next Coach Bert Browne Show.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County Schools Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube. This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU bypass in Richmond.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do during disasters, like tornadoes, and how to plan for emergencies, like flash floods. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
Another great sponsor for Madison County School Sports Television is Madison HVAC. Visit them at MadisonHVACR.com. By calling Madison HVAC, you always know you'll talk to the owner. Give them a call. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, Madison County EMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises. This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. Watch our programming online at WKYT.com, your town, Richmond, or watch it at Bria Online at BriaOnline.com. This program sponsored by Madison Drug in Richmond, Town and Country Auto Sales, Richmond, the best little card shop in Richmond, and WWAG Radio. This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU Bypass in Richmond.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do during disasters, like tornadoes, and how to plan for emergencies, like flash floods. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
You're watching Madison County School Sports Television, home of the greatest announcers around.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do if there's an earthquake, and how to plan for emergencies, like house or chemical fires. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. I'm here with Madison Central's head football coach, Bert Browne.
And I want you to watch Madison Central football on Madison County School Sports Television.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.